So I tried to planeswalk over into Bloomburrow, and joke's on me because Mabel was right there with her little sword, the very powerful sword, and she got me right in the forehead and said, "No, you shall not pass." And so I didn't get to planeswalk to Bloomburrow. And I love Mabel, but how dare you? So anyways, I wanted to do a Bloomburrow deck that I built absolutely from bulk. So everything in this deck is stuff that I already had. I'm really excited about it. I think there's some good synergy. As all decks will have, there will be upgrades over time. And we talk about a couple of them, but for the most part, this is a $0 deck built because it's only from bulk. So I feel really accomplished having built a deck I spent no money on. That feels really nice, but also to actually use the bulk that's just sitting around. We all have piles of bulk around our house. Cards take over as you become a Magic enthusiast, and so being able to clean up some of those spaces and put them to use is just as satisfying as spending no money on a deck. So if you're interested in doing something like that, I hope this deck gives you a little bit of inspiration, but it is a fun little Bloomburrow build, so let's see what it has in store. Okay, I'm really excited about this deck. I made sure that all of the accessories for it match as well. They're just ones I'm reusing from decks that didn't work out. So I really like, we're looking at Derevi. Here, we're looking at Derevi. I'm going to hide all the cards. I picked this yellow box because I think it lines up with a lot of the artwork from the Derevi Empyrial Tactician from the Critter Bloomburrow borderless version, which is why I wanted to build this deck. I need more Bloomburrow decks in my life, and again, he is the commander, so he gets the specially sparkly inner sleeve to make it extra special. But I think the yellow really brings out some of the artwork in here, as well as the back of the majority of these. It's not quite blue. I think this is the Petrol Dragon Shield sleeve, dual matte, which is really nice because the black lines up with the commander sleeve I have here. But this blue isn't strictly bright blue, baby blue, anything like that. So I think, again, it pulls out a lot of the artwork from Derevi, as well as lining up with this color combo really well, especially compared to, in contrast, the yellow deck box. So accessory-wise, I feel really good. Now, I think it's really fun when you don't focus your commander deck around the specific commander ability. That way, you don't have to have your creature, your commander, on the battlefield for your deck to pop off. But Derevi is a secret bird deck. I don't have enough birds to do all of the things that I want to, so it's not a truly typal deck, which we will see in a minute. But I am focusing around the middle part of his ability here. Derevi Empyrial Tactician is a green-white blue 2/3 bird wizard with flying. Whenever Derevi enters the battlefield and whenever a creature I control deals combat damage to a player, I may tap or untap target permanent. Then for 1 green, white, blue, put Derevi onto the battlefield from the command zone, which I think will be pretty cool, but the tap untap shenanigans is going to be my favorite thing. I remember one of my all-time favorite cards when I was really taking Magic seriously for the first time was the legitimate business person card from Streets of New Capenna. That was so fun to me. So having things lose abilities is hilarious, but also stun counters. You can't do shenanigans to me because your creatures are tapped. They got stun counters. They can't untap, which just makes me feel better as a combat damage girly. So I'm really focusing on the tap untap thing here. You can definitely take this way more competitive than what I am doing, but let's have some fun. Let's check it out. Now, if you know me, I'm a girl that loves planeswalkers. Of course, I got Teferi Time Reveler here. Again, the Critter borderless from Bloomburrow. This is a Bloomburrow deck. I'm really excited about this. Honestly, I wanted to do it as an Oathbreaker, but this guy is totally banned in Oathbreaker, which makes sense. Honestly, it's a bird. So Teferi bird in a bird deck just really makes sense. Each opponent can cast spells only at any time they could cast a sorcery, so nothing scary is going to happen on my turn. That's pretty nice. Until my next turn, I may cast sorcery spells as the flash. So again, I can cast sorceries at instant speed, which is going to be really nice and helpful. And the neg 3 here, return up to 1 target artifact, creature, or enchantment to its owner's hand and draw a card. So the idea of getting rid of something scary, that's a little bit of removal action, which is nice. Yes, they can play it later, but just getting rid of it for a little while is definitely going to help me, because then they have to waste their mana on that spell again versus something else. So the synergy slows down. But having a card draw. The card draw there is going to be really, really nice, but we want to make sure we are bumping up Teferi enough to make sure that he doesn't unalive. So we love him. Next, we're going to take a closer look at all of the creatures I have. This is my all-time favorite because this is my all-time favorite artist, Evan Fong. She is absolutely wonderful at every single thing she does, and her signatures are absolutely adorable. Most of the time, they're little Kit Kats, but it's a little puffer fish because she's a merfolk. So, again, we get to do untap, tappy ability things with this thing, stun counters, which is really, really nice. So it lines up with the synergy of what Derevi's doing. But the fact that I'm having one of my all-time favorite artists with her signature and everything in here is just like pet card for sure. I love Merfolk anyways. This is a super good Bloomburrow commander card. You just get so many things if you're behind, which is really nice. Even if you only get one of those things, it's really good, but it's also a 4/5, so pretty decent on the defense there, which is nice. But honestly, it's just a staple commander card. One of these things at a minimum is going to be true. Again, Bloomburrow, which is really nice. Overlord of the Flood Pits. Again, card draw. I don't really mind about the discard thing because I just need cards out of my deck. I don't have enough card draw or ramp in here. So you're definitely going to see that I need stuff. Lifelink is a sneaky little mechanic that this deck is going to be a little bit focused around. Again, I love Lifelink. I can't help it. But there is going to be synergy that's happening from the life gain, which you will see. I really am excited about this. I haven't played too many Final Fantasy cards, even though the power of them is crazy. This is a beefy CMC, but she do be an 8/8, and whenever she enters, for each opponent, tap up to 1 target non-land permanent that opponent controls. Put X stun counters on each of those permanents, and I gain X life, where X is the number of non-basic lands I control, which I don't have enough of, but we're going to work on it. We're going to work on it. And so, again, the stun counter things, tapping stuff, it's just really nice. And life gain. It's literally everything that this deck is focused around, which is amazing. I love Soul Warden. This was my favorite card that I ever learned on. I have a deck video of the deck that I learned on to play, and she is the queen of that deck. And I do have it signed by the artist, so that is really nice. Lathiel's the OG life gain guy. Landfall there is super nice. And then we got a bird, a retrofoil bird. This is so good, giving my stuff vigilance, especially because I'm going to be trying to do so many combat shenanigans. Having things with vigilance is really, really nice. And it is a sneaky little ramp in there. Speaking of ramp, we got the cute little llamas there. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. We're excited. Fat Chonko. Oh my gosh. I call him the Chonky Chocobo. I don't love this artwork, but the Moogles are precious. Hello? Moogles. Look at them. It's a bird. We're making birds. That feels good. This is giving Death Touch, Vigilance, or Double Strike. So that's pretty exciting. I have options there. Jackdaw Savior's bird from Bloomburrow that I'm really excited to have the showcase version because we got a little mouse friend hanging out. It's doing good things. Courser of Kufrix is obviously a staple. This zombie bird wizard from Aetherdrift is going to go so hard in this deck. It's not only a bird, but each creature card in my hand has cycling, 1 in a blue. I need the card draw so bad. So to have cycling here as an ability is really, really nice, and I know I'm going to lean on that heavy. We're doing life gain shenanigans where we have card draw into that. Thundertrap Trainer has Offspring, which I hope I get to do. Whenever this creature enters, look at the top 4 cards of my library. I may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, put it into my hand. The rest on the bottom of my library in a random order, which we saw earlier with Teferi. My sorceries have Flash. So having anything in my hand, instant sorcery, whatever, is going to be really helpful because they'll have Flash, hopefully, from Teferi, and I'll get to play all the fun things at any time. The OG bird. Of course, I had to have that version. And all these little birds up here, they're so cute. Everything enters, put a plus encounter on target creature I control without flying, so making my stuff even scarier. And then, of course, this is a Secret Miss Bumbleflower deck. This is so exciting for me. I love her so much. she's just so good. She's so good. And I know she is group hug focused, which honestly makes me a little nervous because I don't have group hug shenanigans going on in this deck. However, because I'm playing Miss Bumbleflower, I am doing something sneaky. The thing is, I'm playing Rhystic Study. Now, I have never played Rhystic Study in a single deck ever, and this is indeed an art card. I went ahead and put everything... No, I didn't. I usually put everything on the back that the card does, just so that I know how much it costs, everything it does, all the things, in case I don't have my phone with me to look things up. So I am using an art card. I just don't want to have to pay for the card, unless I know that it's actually going to do well in this deck. But the first and only reason I'm playing Rhystic Study in this deck is because y'all are getting all this stuff with Bumbleflower, and if you are drawing cards, I want to draw cards. So... We will see. I love it. This artwork from Wilds of Eldraine is insane. And so while it is an art card and not the actual card, I get to enjoy the art way more, which is super, super nice. Snake Umbra, enchanted creature gets +1/+1 whenever it deals combat damage to an opponent. Draw a card. Classic card. Feels Bloomburrow. Unbridled Growth. Enchanted land has tap add many of any color. I can also sack it to draw a card, which is ideal. This is Faith's Fetters. I think it's very fun. When it enters, gain 4 life. Permanent can't attack or block. Activated abilities can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. So it's just more control. It's the stun counter feel as an enchantment, but I do get the sneaky little life gain action. Buried in the Garden. I think this is really cool. I loved these... I can only think of the word showcase from Thundy Junction. Whenever it enters, exile target non-land permanent I don't control under Buried in the Garden until it leaves. Whenever land is tapped for mana, controller adds an additional mana of any color. So I'm really excited for the removal action that's going to happen there. Brave the Sands. This is, if you will see, a Pwoxy. She is a Pwoxy. I'm so sorry about that, but I found it and it's really good because I want all my creatures to have vigilance. Each creature I control also can block an additional creature each combat. If I'm putting +1 counters on things, I might do that, but really I'm just putting this in here because it's for 2, giving everything vigilance is very helpful. This is the card. This was the card. I know it says Foundations, but this was originally Streets of New Capenna. Enchanted creature loses all abilities. Is a green-white citizen creature with base power and toughness, 1/1 named Legitimate Business Person. I loved this card so much. I love Streets of New Capenna so much. But just the removal that's happening here is going to be necessary. Again, more removal, no abilities is a 1/1. She's a Fwog. We got Griffin Airy for more bird action. Being in my instep, if I gain 3 more life, create a bird. Hence all the life gains that's happening. I want all of the birds that I can. I want to make all these birds, so I need to gain life to make sure that happens. Bitter Chill. We're having more removal. Things don't untap until this leaves. Whenever it's put into a graveyard, I may pay 1. If I do, scry 1 and then draw a card. So hopefully I'll have lands untapped to do shenanigans anyways, so that if someone does end up removing this, I will be able to pay the 1. Scroll of Isildur is a beautiful foil scroll frame. It is the silver foil from Lord of the Rings, which is stunning. I have this in a fun deck that I built, an Oathbreaker deck that's also focused around untap tappy shenanigans. But when this enters, I gain control of up to 1 target artifact for as long as I control this card. Then tap up to 2 target creatures, put stun counters on them, and then draw a card for each tapped creature an opponent controls. That's going to be really exciting. If I can time this right, I'm going to get a bunch of card draw, hopefully just get to do all the fun things. And again, losing all abilities... It's tapped. You can't do stuff. So it loses all abilities. I love it. It's asleep. Wonderful. All right, we are going to take a look at the sorceries and instants together. There's just going to be a lot of stuff that gives me OG things. Starfall Invocation. Let's look at this because it's a classic Bloomburrow card. I can gift a card, and if I do, destroy all creatures. If the gift was promised, return a creature card prone to the graveyard this way onto the battlefield under my control. So it doesn't have to be something I have. If it's a Craterhoof Behemoth, like you saw, I don't know. Maybe I want fun, scary stuff. Maybe I want my Miss Bumbleflower. I don't know, but I could get your thing also. So I think this is just a classic, and the fact it's from Bloomburrow is for sure really nice. This foil stock up is super cool. Look at the top 5 cards of your library, put 2 of them into my hand, rest on the bottom. It's really good. We need card draw. Draws 2 cards. Really good, really good. We got Cultivate, beautiful, Stall Out. This is stock up, but specific to what my deck is trying to do. Tap target creature, vehicle, put 3 stun counters on it with cycling. So I'm drawing cards. She's Ether Drift, and I get to do stun counters, which is amazing. This card is so fun. They get base power and toughness XX until end of turn, so this is a win con. If I draw this, it's just going to be a win con, which is going to be really exciting. Gets +2/+2 and trample. If I am doing combat shenanigans, this is a classic. Overprotect, again, a classic. One of my favorite artworks from Bloomburrow. It's a Fwog in a turtle costume with, what are those called for little punchy hands? I'm only thinking of literally the card, Omnivorous Flytrap. Venus Flytrap. Venus Flytrap. He has Venus Flytrap hands, and it's adorable, giving indestructible. Obviously, a classic counterspell, refute, counterspell, but draw a card, spell pierce, counterspell unless they pay 2. 2 card draw, very nice. This is cycling 2, some more card draw, but we have removal. We need to play removal. People don't play it enough, and it definitely gets in the way. A bird counter spell. That feels nice. I get more stuff if I have a bird. +1, flying, indestructible, and then make as many birds as I want. Path to Exile is a classic and needed. Again, removal is good. There's only a few artifacts in this deck. We have the classics here, but I'm really excited about trying some of these out for the first time. Chocobo Racetrack. Whenever a land enters under my battlefield, create a 2/2 bird with whenever land I control enters, this token gets +1/+0 until end of turn. I'm not really thinking it's going to get a bunch of pluses. I'm not really playing multiple lands on my on each of my turns, but creating the bird here is going to be really fun, and it's just nice to have landfall. Landfall is a really fun mechanic. I love short bow, giving something vigilance and reach. Vigilance is the important part here in case I'm not able to get some of those other VG counter pieces out. And then this one is the one I'm most excited about. I remember when Fallout came out, this was like the card I was most excited to play for because it's good in any commander deck. For 1, whenever a equipped creature attacks, choose 1. Draw a card, discard a card, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature, or untap up to 2 target lands, and the equip is 2. So you basically, if you want to do equipping for free, you play this for 1, equip it, and then choose a check map on whatever creature you're doing, because the 2 that you use to equip it are then going to be untapped. So that's really nice, but then we can do card draw. If we want things to be bigger, we can move it around to do more shenanigans, but this is the first time I'm ever playing this card, so I'm excited to see how it actually does, if it lands up with the hype. Finally, we have our lands. When you are looking at lands, you want to make sure you are looking at your mana curve and counting out each pip so that you can adequately get the representation and color that you need from your lands. I'm having some really fun ones. This was given to me by a friend from my local game store, and I'm so thankful for that. It is so pretty. I'm thankful to have it being put to use. So I counted out all of them. It's a pretty even curve in this deck, so that's nice. Hopefully when I'm in game, that'll line up as well. I don't have enough good utility lands, but the Scry is really nice, so I like that. Path of Ancestry is a classic. It's just a multicolored color deck. Card that I needed. Again, I can do more things to draw cards and gain life, so that really lines up. I'm probably not going to have the mana to do that because I'll want mana for other things, but in case there's a board wipe, it gives me options. Cycling is nice. Again, I don't know that it'll ever make it a creature, but it's an option, which is there. This is beautiful. I pulled this from a pack and I'm so excited. I don't have the shock to go with it, so I don't really have many like fetchable things. I got to figure that out, but at least she's in there and we're at a baseline of good lands. We're getting more of the colors that we need. Indestructible is always going to feel nice. I am always going to play Evolving Wilds. Gaining life because we know that's necessary. Again, gaining life. And again, gaining life. So there's the utility lands. I want to upgrade them, but I want to upgrade this whole deck. So we'll see how it goes. I know that 2 bird cards that I really want for this deck is first and foremost is going to be Castrol from Bloomburrow. I want the showcase version. So hopefully I'll be able to pick that up and get it in here. But then also from Final Fantasy, there is Choco, Seeker of Paradise, which is a really fun card for this, doing bird shenanigans as well. It's adorable, and it's a flavor win as well as being good in the deck. So hopefully those are the first 2 things that I pick up to upgrade Derevi, Empyrial, Tactician. I think the deck is going to do pretty well. There's good synergy going on there. Obviously, it's going to need a couple run-throughs to really see how it jives together. I know I want to make it a more bird typal deck over time, which I'm really excited about. There's really good bird stuff, but honestly, I don't need the deck to pop off and go super hard. I just want to have fun making birds, doing bird stuff, for it to feel like Bloomburrow and to use as many of those Bloomburrow artworks as possible. There are plenty of cards that if I were to just go to Moxfield and build a deck, probably not even half of these cards would make it into the deck. And so I know that this is going to be a really different experience from a typical Derevi build, because I'm not being super competitive with it. I'm just trying to tap your stuff, not untap my things to do more shenanigans. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Please let me know in the comments what things you would add to the deck so that I can put them on my wish list once I do get around to upgrading. I do have a Discord that I would love for you guys to come and hang out in, but you can also subscribe to the channel because we are all about fostering safe and authentic gaming spaces for all players, all gamers, all people. I want everyone to have a safe space that they feel like they belong, because it's important that you feel seen, heard, and cared about. And so at Queen Honey Games, that's what we're about. Follow along, but until then, happy gaming.